Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Believe in Your Better podcast. And my name is Dana. This is my new show. I'm excited about it. I created this show to assist others with understanding who they are so that they know that they have a greatness to walk within and they can love themselves a little better. So today I have a good friend of mine on the show, and her name is Dr. Monique Tucker. I've
Hello.
invited I've invited her to come talk with me to talk to you about self-esteem and self-sabotaging. And what somebody might think that they don't go together, but they really do. Your self-esteem affects all points of your life. So today, Dr. Tucker is here with me so that we can just, like I said, spread some knowledge. So, Miss Monique, um, please be kind enough well, first, let me say thank you for joining me. I really do appreciate it. You know, this is a new avenue for me, but I think it is a really good help. So, introduce yourself, give us a little bit of a background, and tell me what aspirations you have in mind.
Hello, and thank you so much, Dana, for inviting me to your new show. I'm excited for you. I hope that this for you would be it's going to be a challenge, However, I want you to look at it as this overall good ideal to be doing for people to help them to understand themselves. So great topics. And this thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of this. So I am Dr. Monique Tucker. I am in private practice. I also am an assessment examiner, which means I do like autism testing, forensic testing, things of that kind. But I am very big on self-esteem, self-worth, self-knowledge, and self-care, right?
Mhm.
Motto for me is changing one mind at a time. So I am always willing to work with people to work on themselves and also me as well, right? We never exempt from working on ourselves. I have to do it daily, and that is something that I pride myself on, working on myself daily so that I can help others become a better them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, I like that you said that because sometimes people think, well, because we're clinicians, that we got it all together.
Yes. Most times people think that, right?
Right. Like like we are always on top of our emotions. So no, it's a continuous work in progress. Some things will be a little easier than others, but yes, it's something that we have to maintain just the same way that you do. So, all right. So tell me, Dr. Tucker, when people come to you and they say that, oh, well, I'm stuck. I don't know what it is I want to do. And they speak outside of themselves, but or you can determine from the conversation exactly what's going on. And when it is a self-esteem issue, how do you bring their insight towards low self-esteem as opposed to the problem of their job or home life?
Well, first of all, I kind of, what we do in intake, we kind of get some background information, right?
Hmm.
And what I always love to say is what you do in one area, you do across the board, right? Because people, like you had to say, it might be starting, it might be a work thing, right? At my job, it's so hard, or I'm just feeling like I'm just, I'm not doing enough, or I'm doing enough and I'm not getting recognized for it.
Hmm.
And they that then discourage them, their self-esteem begins to get low and those type of things. Uh, and so just say that's what they're talking about, for instance, like a work thing situation. And so I kind of would just go in asking like, do you do your best when you're doing it? What are some challenges that you have when whatever the task is, whatever project you're on? Uh,
Okay.
has it been going on for a long time? And the reason why I ask these questions is because the more information I can get, it kind of tells me how long you have been feeling discouraged, right? Which
Hmm.
then, like I said, decreases your self-esteem. And so when your self-esteem is decreased, then we talk about self-sabotaging, then just say a promotion might come up or it might be a new job and you like, I'm not going to apply for that. And I'm probably not going to get it anyway. So that's
Right.
a part of self-sabotaging because your esteem is a low and you're
Mm-hmm.
automatically thinking that, there's no way they're going to pick me. So that's why I always try to get some background information of how long this has been going on so that I can be able to help you, to encourage you, to help you to understand that even if you know that you're doing your best, or even if you don't think you're doing your best, doesn't mean that you're not. It just means that you're not being recognized. And sometimes it doesn't have anything to do with you. It has everything to do with the other person.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So we just
Now
kind of have to think
let
about
me
that.
ask you a question. When you just made a statement when the self-talk that they're using is negative towards
Hmm.
themselves, do
Hmm.
you bring that to the forefront?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because that is, like I said, that's part of the reason why your self-esteem is low is because of how you talk to yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
But most of it too is that we have to remember that it's coming from the other side, from whoever you're interacting with, right? Because they might have said like, well, your work is good, but it's not that great. You've been on this project for a long time and you have been doing a good job. However, I don't, as much as I think you can do the job, you just aren't doing well in it, even though you might have gotten most time, sometimes you get accolades in it, or you might get an
Mm-hmm.
award. It's like, well, how did I get these? And you're still not saying that I'm doing great. And so those type of things then discourage you, right? And then
Right.
you started just saying like, okay, well, I must not be doing that good. And so, like I said, a job may come up and I'm not going to apply for that because I know I'm not going to get it. They're not going to give it to me. He just said that I wasn't doing well and this and that. And so that would then discourage you. And so that's why I'm saying that negative talk will always discourage you. So
Mm-hmm.
I always tell them that they have to reframe their thoughts, refocus, and then process. Like, and I help them to understand that just because somebody else is saying it doesn't mean that it's that's true. That might be their truth, but that don't necessarily have to be your truth.
Okay. Okay. So now, as we begin to help others understand how to pay attention to their thoughts and their emotions, what is something that you suggest in regards to identifying and acknowledging, hey, maybe I do have low self-esteem?
Journal, 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 journal. I am a big journaler. Okay,
And
so
what did you say do now?
right, journal, journal, journal. And then why am I
Right.
doing that? I always say that you want to be aware of your feelings so you can control your emotions. Right?
Mhm.
So if you become aware of your feelings, happy, sad, mad, angry, whatever your feelings are, if you are aware of those things and you start to write them out, like, okay, so just say, for instance, you're saying about the job, we're using that same scenario. I feel discouraged because my boss came in today and just said that wasn't doing a good job. Okay, so now I'm discouraged. So now I'm sad, right?
Mhm.
I can possibly be angry as well. So I want to write those things out. What is making me angry? Why am I sad? What about what he said makes me sad or makes me angry? Most times you can tie it into something else that probably from way back when, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
I wasn't good enough. I don't feel like I'm good enough. Somebody told me that I wouldn't, make it this far or whatever the situation may be. You can tie it in most times to that. And you're like, okay, that's why I'm sad. And then I'm angry because I feel like I did my best and I'm still not moving, I'm still not where I want to be, or I'm not moving, ahead fast enough or quick enough, right?
Mhm.
And so I feel like I'm being held down. So now I'm angry. And so you want to write those things out and you want to just say, like, okay, if I'm angry because I feel like I'm not moving ahead as fast as I can, as fast as I should be, then what things can I do to change it? Are some things that would make me happy to be able to move forward? And it doesn't have to do anything with that job, but you just want to write that out because now guess what you have done? You set a goal for yourself,
Mhm.
right? I want to see myself here in the next 45 days. I'm angry because I feel like they're holding me back. Okay, so what can I do to possibly get to where I'm trying to go? So if you write that down, then now I have a goal. And so now I have something to work towards. And that's another reason why we get discouraged because we don't have anything to work towards. We only just looking at what's happening right now in the moment and we feeling
Yes.
like this is discouragement. I can't do anything and they got control over me. And so then it starts to dwindle on you. And then now you're going into depression. And so
Mhm.
before it gets there, that's why I'm saying journal, 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 because you want to get it out.
Right. You want to be able to express those feelings
Absolutely.
and express those thoughts. I like
Absolutely.
what you said in regards to the feelings and thoughts that you have today that are holding you back, stalling you out, don't necessarily come from what's happening today.
Yes,
Might be something when you were in elementary school and you had this special assignment and you
absolutely.
thought you did the absolute best, and the
Yes,
teacher told you, well, no, this is a C. And you're like stunned. Nobody tells you, well, what did I do wrong? How do I correct? I always get A's and B's. And so you hold on to that instead of hold on to it as a negative instead of how can I be better?
yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So give me or give the audience a couple of ways that they can start identifying emotions. So you know how we always say, and they and look, the audience will probably hear me say this on every episode. When you talk about your feelings and you say, I'm fine, I'm good, I'm okay, that literally does not tell anybody anything about what's going on in your feelings or your thoughts. It just doesn't. What's good? When you ask them to describe what's good, they hem and haw and can't even express it. But if you ask them, why are you angry? They will go on for 15 minutes. So, can you give the audience um, a couple of things to be more self-aware to describe? Are you feeling alone? Do you feel defeated? Are you feeling abandoned? Do you feel frustrated, angry? Look, are you hungry? Is that why you you
Mhm.
snapping at people? So share with us, what would you give the audience to a couple of tips to think about?
First, I want to tell you that you have to get more comfortable with yourself. What do I mean by that? I
Mhm.
mean that you have to be vulnerable with yourself, right?
That's
And
good.
most people are not. And so, because I'm not vulnerable with myself, I'm not able to be vulnerable with someone else, right? And
Mm-hmm.
the reason why I'm okay, I'm doing all right. I mean, it's good, it's fine, is because now I have to become open, right, with my feelings,
Mm-hmm.
and that I might not feel like I can trust you with them, right? Um,
Mm-hmm.
and so that's why I just rather say I'm okay. A lot of us, it's the fear of, having an altercation with somebody. So I'm not saying anything, right? So I'm just like, okay, it's good. I'm fine. And then the other side of it is I don't want to, like I said, to be vulnerable and I don't want to seem weak, right? And that's a word that people throw around. Like, I don't want to seem weak. I don't want to start crying. If I start sharing, I might start crying, right?
Mm-hmm.
That makes me feel weak.
Right.
So, what I would say to that particular person again is to be more vulnerable with yourself. How do I do that? That's why I said journaling is a big thing. Because when you journal, then now you are entering, your safe space, right? You're
Mhm.
allowing yourself to be okay with how you feel. And like I said, to be able to control your emotions. When you're angry, and I'm saying control your emotions, sometimes we're yelling, sometimes we screaming, cussing. That's an emotion, right? And
Right.
so to be able to manage that, you want to explore how you feel first, right? So I feel angry. So if I feel angry, then I really need to take some time with myself. That's why I said journal, take some time with myself before I had to have a discussion with someone else because now I'm going to just go off, right? And so when we think about, what could I do? You want to, like I said, you want to become vulnerable with yourself. We
Mm-hmm.
have to also understand too, the second part of that is we care about what the response is on the other side. So again, that's why I said I might not say nothing because it might turn into an altercation and that kind of thing. When you learn how to be vulnerable with yourself, this is my feelings, right? They don't have to be accepted. They don't have to be liked, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so when you understand that, then you gain confidence in how you feel and you okay with it. So
Right.
even if you have to cry while you're discussing whatever it is, it doesn't make me feel weak. It is a part of me being vulnerable with myself first and then being okay with being vulnerable with someone else,
Yes.
right? And some people be like, "Oh, I just apologize for crying right now." I'm like, "You don't need to apologize for crying. Those are your emotions
Right.
because you're sad or because you're
It's
happy,
a
right?"
release. Yeah.
Right. So either one. So you don't need to apologize for that. You need to be okay with that. And that's what I'm saying. If you ever heard people apologizing, like, I'm so sorry right now for crying. It's not, I'm like, you don't ever need to apologize for crying. It's a
Right.
part of your emotions. It's fine. Now,
Right.
if you're cussing me out, then yeah, you need to apologize for doing that, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
that is a form of disrespect. So I'm saying that
An
if
attack
you
too.
are, yes. So if you are allowing yourself to be vulnerable, that is a way to always start with learning how to manage your emotions. And like I said, and to be aware of your feelings. So those two things, like I said, you want to be vulnerable with yourself and then not really, I'm gonna say care, but not have a uh, apprehension or a difficult time, worrying about what the other person, what the response is going to be.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. So self-sabotage, self-sabotaging. To look at it, how would you, because sometimes people they look at it again as it's someone else's fault. I didn't do this because I had to help this person. This happened because I was with this person. But you made the choice and you knew the situation. So who's supposed to fix it? The other person or myself? So take us around self-sabotaging.
Well, self-sabotaging has a lot to do with defeating behaviors.
Mm-hmm.
You are telling yourself, again, we're talking about this self-talk, this negative talk, that I can't, that I won't, that, it's my fault. Like you said, it's my fault that this happened. I feel guilty, frustrated, shame, or
Mm-hmm.
all of the above, right? And so then it breaks down your confidence. And so because it breaks down your confidence, you're not able to move forward in anything you want to do, and so that's where the self-sabotaging starts to come in. So you just don't do it. You kind of get stuck there. You like if you wanted to, like I said, you set a goal, right? You set this goal for yourself and you didn't say you set it for like 30 days, whatever it is. You decided that, I'm going to work on my emotions. I'm going to work on my being aware of my feelings so I can manage my emotions. And now I have a goal to work towards doing, maybe if it's moving out the company
Mm-hmm.
or getting a promotion. And so what I've been seeing lately and what I've been hearing is defeating my spirit, right? And so now I'm losing my confidence. And so what you would do is not do a great job at any of the tasks that you have to do
Mm-hmm.
because now I don't have the confidence to even move forward in what I said I was going to do. And that's a part of self-sabotaging. So it has to do with self-defeating behaviors that we use, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some people like might drink, they don't that's another thing. They might just start drinking, eating because you be an emotional eater, right? And
Yeah.
so if you're
Or
eating,
procrastinating.
yes, that's another thing. That's my next one. And procrastinating. So those are all
Mm-hmm.
things that is has to do with self-sabotaging. And so the thing is that that's why I'm saying those are emotional things that we do. Self-eat, emotional eating, drinking, procrastinating, those are things that you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Those are a part of your emotions. Why? Because you feel a certain way. So that's why it's important that when I'm saying to you to really be aware of your feelings so you can manage your emotions. It's a big thing.
Absolutely.
You
Absolutely.
have to you have to make sure that you're aware of your feelings so you can manage your emotions.
Now, how much resistance do you get as a clinician from your clients in regards to addressing those behaviors with self-sabotaging?
Um, it depends on who the person is. If the person has uh, been depressed, like we just say moderate level or ongoing, then
Mm-hmm.
definitely a lot of resistance because I'm always screwing stuff up. I never get things right. Every time I try, it just don't work out. So
Mm-hmm.
those clients is harder. It's a challenge. It's more challenging with those clients. Someone new who's coming in, like I just been feeling like this. I haven't been getting up lately. I just haven't had the energy to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Started feeling sad around up because I just had a breakup. All right, so okay, this is all new to them. So it is much easier for them, for us to help them understand because now they understand why they're sad. like I had a
Mhm.
breakup, right? For as the other person, it's kind of like I always screw stuff up. This always happens, and so that's an ongoing thing, right?
Mhm.
And so it's more of a challenge with them when we're talking about self sabotaging because they do procrastinate, they do, like I said, their confidence is shot, right?
Mhm.
They don't have the confidence to do anything. They don't feel like they're good enough, and so it's harder for them, for those type of people who has the ongoing depression. So when I'm working with them, I'm kind of like going back a little bit, just further, like how long has this been going on? What are some things that brought it on, right? And
Mhm.
what is happening now that brought it back? And so kind of trying to help them see as a pattern there.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And so if I can help you find what like we can work what a pattern is, like, oh, this is a pattern, oh, this is happening. And so now I can really be able to help you to defeat some of those negative thoughts because now we understand why it's happening because it has happened so many times.
Okay. I know when with my clients, when they come in, they, like you said, they feel stuck, they don't know what's going on, they're a little sad, and they just want to feel better. Like, okay. So as you have the sessions and you go on with them and you listen to their self-talk, and when you suggest, well, okay, how do you want to, what do you want to do? You want to change your atmosphere, you want to change the energy around you, but then when you give them homework, right, they don't move. And they
Mm,
always have a reason why, oh, well, I didn't have time. I'm like, out of 7 days, out of
mm,
14 days, you didn't have time?
mm,
Or I was so busy, but what you only had one thing to do.
mm,
And when you tell them or show them the method of how they talk themselves out of moving progressively, they have this like stunned look. And I'm like, yeah, you got to start paying attention to what you're saying to yourself that
mm,
keeps you from moving
mm,
forward where you
mm.
want to go. How are you going to get there if you don't move, take
Yep.
some type of actions? So
That's,
yeah, that's good. That's
yep.
real good. So now, um, tell us instance when you were trying to maneuver through something and you caught yourself talking yourself out of a situation
For
that you
me,
knew, look, that you knew would be good for you. You even asked for that situation, and when it came to you, it's like, oh well, I don't have the shoes, I don't have a dress.
I guess that would be like speaking engagements, right? I
Oh,
will like
okay.
try to get these speaking engagements and do these type of things. And it's like, okay, so we got this thing going and we want you to be a speaker on a panel or we want you to
Hmm.
present something, that kind of thing. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't do that. I'm like, I don't even know. I don't know why I said I want to do it. I cannot even do it because I don't know what they're going to be thinking or what they expect from me and that kind of thing.
Hmm.
So it is for me, like, how did I overcome that? Like I said, I'm not going to tell you to do anything that I'm not doing. So I am going
Hmm.
to reassess how I feel, right? So why am I feeling like that? I'm feeling like that because my confidence now isn't where it needs to be, right? Because now I'm thinking the people in the room is much bigger than me.
Hmm.
So now that's self-defeating, right? So I'm already telling myself, and so what I do is, um, with every negative thought, I try to replace it with at least three positive. I'm like, they asked you to be here, A, so they
Yes,
must
ma'am.
qualify.
Yes, I do that too. It's like,
And
wait, catch
so
yourself.
B, right. So B, they asked you to be A, they asked you to be here, so they know you qualify. B, you have what you need to go. And then C, you already prepared. What is it that you're missing? Right?
Hmm.
Are you going to be a little nervous when you get there? Absolutely. Are you going to be a little nervous when you start? Absolutely. But once you get to going, you'll be fine.
Right.
It'll be fine. You'll
Yeah.
be okay. I'm like, you just have to do it. And here's the thing: is this what you want to do? Then you got to just step out here and do it with the fear and all. The fear is what's going to help you to overcome. These are things that I'm telling myself, right?
Hmm.
As
Hmm.
I'm getting myself going, as I'm riding in the car, all the way till I get there, even when it's time to present, right? I'm
Right.
still thinking to myself, like, these people looking at me like, okay, put the show on. So it's like, you have to keep telling yourself, reminding yourself who you are. affirmations, 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 right? So I'm big on
Mhm.
journaling. I'm also big on affirmations. I have affirmations all around one of my rooms in my house because I need to tell myself something positive because the world will tell you something cruel, or the world might even tell you something positive. But at the end of the day, you need to know who you are, right?
Mhm.
So you want to make sure that you are affirming yourself, that you are encouraging yourself so
Yes.
that you can be able to defeat these negative thoughts that come into your mind. So that is how I usually get over a situation such as you explained.
Hmm. So now tell me this, as you just said, when you uh, when you created your affirmations and you gave them certain, do you give, or let me say it like that, do you give your affirmations certain direction or use them for a certain area to create a different energy with it, a different mindset with it?
So you know what? That's interesting. That could possibly work. I've never thought of it in that way, like you're saying, to use them in a different manner. I just usually say my affirmations. I do pair them with whatever is going on, if that's what you're asking. So yes, so whatever is going on, I'm like, all things work together for my good. So
Mhm.
I will pair them with whatever the situation is. Um, but I don't necessarily say this one is for sadness, this one is for discouragement, this one is no. So I use them because if I'm feeling sad and I'm mostly feeling discouraged, right? And
Mhm.
so to me, it all goes together. And so that's how
Mhm.
I use them. I never thought about, thinking, and it could possibly work that way as well too.
Well, the reason that I brought that up or that I asked the question is because oftentimes people don't know, they've heard about affirmations and they know that, hey, that's something that's good for you, but they don't really understand how to use them. And so then you get that pushback, well, they don't work. I had affirmations, but they don't work. So I often tell my clients, for instance, if you say that, or if you give the scripture as your affirmation, and what does it say? You beautifully and wonderfully made. So when you hear that and you think on that, what do you see? So do you see a beautiful woman and she is wonderfully made? How does she look? Is she sparkling or is she hiding? Is she scrunching down and hiding in the corner? Not, but you don't hear her, you don't
Mm,
see her. Or is she amazing? She got the little, what is that fairy dust all around her just to bring brightness, right? So I tell them, now, who you want to follow? You want to follow this one that's hiding and scrunched down where you can't, you don't get any energy from her? Or what about this one over here where she's bright, she's vibrant, smiles all the time? Okay, follow that and do what do you see, right? I just believe that that helps you to feel a little better throughout the course of the day if you do have that affirmation of, I am a successful and powerful woman. All right, well, what does that look like for you? When
mm.
you think of a successful, powerful woman, is she well put together, or she walk around with her bonnet on and her pajamas, and what's going on? How does she look? How does she move? Is she confident? Is she focused? All right. So walk in the strength of being focused and confident that you're going to accomplish whatever this little goal is over here.
Yeah.
So that's why I asked.
Oh, that's good. That's good. That's some people, like you saying, what you're saying ultimately is some people need a visual.
Mm-hmm. Or
You
or
should
or
go
to
with the affirmation.
understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's good. So
Okay.
yeah, I never even thought about it in that way. I just kind of, like I said, when I am saying my affirmations, because I know that, like I said, if I'm feeling sad and I'm mostly feeling discouraged. And so
Mm-hmm.
it goes together.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm using an affirmation, just like I'm an overcomer, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so if I know that to be true, then I can't be defeated, right? And so then that's what I'm telling myself. Like, you can't be defeated. Even if you don't get it right, you still can't be defeated. That just
All
means you need to
right.
go back and figure it out and then, move forward.
Mm-hmm.
Understand that failure isn't failure until you quit, right? That's my
Right.
philosophy to be what failure is. My definition of what failure is. If you quit, then yeah, you're a failure. But
Mm-hmm.
if you fail because you didn't get it right, then that just means now you got to get a strategy together so that you can get it
Right.
right the next time or at least improve on what happened the time before, right?
Mm-hmm.
So as long as you keep doing that, then you won't be defeated. You can allow
Okay.
your spirit to get defeated because you don't, like I said, you don't feel like I'm there fast enough, quick enough. I should be here and I'm not there, and everything I do doesn't work. And so all those things that you're telling yourself, you are hindering yourself from, from ultimately becoming the best you because you're putting a limitation on what you can do. Like
Mm-hmm.
you're saying, that's part of self-sabotaging.
Right. Right. And I think sometimes people need to change some of the language that they use,
Mm-hmm.
um, and also understand their expectations. So, who told you that we know, okay, college, 4 years, but you got some people, they go through acceleration programs and it's done in two. So,
Mm-hmm.
if it's okay for it to be done in two, why isn't it okay to be done in five? The
Mm-hmm.
goal is to finish. So,
Mm-hmm.
I think that needs to be stressed. You create your path, so to speak. You figure out which do you work better in the early morning hours, or do you work better late at night? Figure that out for yourself and move in that direction,
Mm-hmm.
right?
I agree.
Okay. Yeah. All right, all right. So when you're dealing with, let's say, people who they may be high functioning individuals who have low self-esteem, but they're accomplished, they have PhDs, they're married, they might be making six figures, but there's an element of low self-esteem with them. So how do you help those people?
So those people most times are a lot of them are people pleasers. What does that mean? That means that they are going to do whatever for somebody else to make them happy while compromising themselves,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
And the reason why I say those people are, i.e., because I was there. Um, and what happens is because you feel like you have accomplished some things and you see other people need help in certain areas and that kind of thing,
Hmm.
so you overcompensate for that, right? Even though it was a struggle for you, you feel like, okay, I'm writing papers in the middle of the night, I'm doing this, I'm
Okay.
doing that. But
Hmm.
people will look at it and say, like, oh, it must be easy for them, right? So can you, for instance, can you go ahead and fill out this this application for me? Can you fix my resume up? Or can you, like, it's going to take you a short amount of time to do that? No, takes a little time to do it,
Right.
and so you would, just because you feel like you don't want the person to be angry at you or upset because you made it this far and it's like, oh, you're gonna not gonna help me,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
So you would do it. And what would happen is now whatever time that you thought you had for something else, now you trying to do something for someone else when you don't even have the time for it. And that's what I mean when I'm saying people pleasing. And so you'll start to fall in that category. And so for these people, what I do is help them set healthy boundaries,
Okay.
right?
Hmm.
It's important that you set a healthy boundary, that you understand that saying no without guilt doesn't mean that you're being mean, doesn't
Right.
mean that you're selfish. Um,
Absolutely.
People will make you feel that way, right? But again, you want to go back to how hard was it for you to get to where you are? Did somebody just walk up to you and say, here's your degree, and here's this, and here's that, and you can, just go. That wasn't what happened. You had to, keep working at
Hmm.
it, keep going, and you probably still working at it, trying to make it somewhere else, wherever your goals are, right?
Hmm.
And so, um, you want to make sure that when you're saying no, that you're okay with it. And that's why I'm saying, so to set healthy boundaries to help you to understand that it's okay to say no without guilt. That's one thing. And then
Absolutely.
be confident within yourself. Like I always tell a person to know what your motives are. Is your motives to be malicious? Is your motives to hurt or harm or to be disrespectful? And if those three things are no, then your motives are pure. I'm
Hmm.
simply saying no because I cannot do it,
Hmm.
because it's going to compromise my time. And so understanding that helps build your confidence, and then it puts you in a peaceful mental space,
Right. Right.
right?
That good word, peace.
Yes, it puts you in a peaceful mental space. You just kind of like saying, okay, so I know I said no. So, I mean, at first it's going to be very uncomfortable. I'm just going to tell you, I'm
Starting off, yeah,
at first
change
it's
it.
going to be very
Yeah.
uncomfortable. You're not going to want to do it. You might have to tell some lies at first. Because I used to be like, well, I had to go pick somebody up, or I had to do this, or I got to do that, so I won't be able to do that. And then I started saying, like, why do you have to lie about what you cannot do? You cannot do it, and it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why is it okay for you to sit and try to figure out somebody's resume or to fill out an application while they do whatever they doing?
Right.
Because it looks like it's easier for you to get it done. No, it means that they just don't want to take the time out and do it. And
Mm-hmm.
you're not, and also the other thing is I wanted to tell the people that, that is in that space that you're not helping them, you're enabling them.
Right.
You're not going to be at the interview with them.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to be able to tell them what to say on the job. So ultimately, they need to do this for themselves to build their own confidence.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's the thing that you start telling yourself as well. I'm not helping by doing that.
Right. And you can't run the race for them and yourself.
Absolutely.
That's what I
Absolutely.
tell my clients. It's like, okay, those people around you, they're not ready to go where you're supposed to be going.
Mhm.
And so you're not going to go self-sabotage because they can't go with you. Mm-mm.
Mhm.
No, no. How will you reach your goals?
Mhm.
So yeah, it's a lot of different components to be aware of or to begin to learn. And so
Mhm.
that's why I'm hoping that this platform helps people to address different things, even if they just learn, like you said, how to journal and write out their feelings. So if someone wants to get in contact with you, how would they reach you?
They can reach me at Monique Tucker 27 at Gmail, or Monique C. Tucker uh, at PLLC at gmail.com. So Monique C. Tucker PLLC at gmail.com. Those two ways they can reach me. I am also accepting new clients if somebody was wondering. So yes, I am available for that.
Okay.
Yes.
And now you said that you were trying to get more speaking engagements. So,
Yeah, I'm always looking for speaking engagement. I do workshops for organizations, for small groups. The workshops can be self-building, confidence building, and building bridges, which means like for company organizations, helping them to be able to communicate well as a team.
mm-hmm.
I also do conflict management workshops. So I do have multiple workshops that I do parenting workshops. So
Right.
if you guys have any questions about that, you can, like I said, email me. I also have a website, it's just MoniqueTucker.com. So you can go on there and look at the website. And if you have any questions, you can always just email me.
Thank you. Thank you. Look, and I am a reference for her. She's
Mhm.
amazing. She loves to bring um, young women and women in general to their forefront of loving and understanding themselves. So I am glad for all that came and checked out the podcast. So if you have any questions or concerns, you want to get in contact with me, you can go over to my website, letstalkwithdanabell.com. I have some free resources on there. Just click. And also, if you register for our uh, relationship workshop series, the third Sunday of every month, Dr. Tucker and we are talking about general specific topics such as self-sabotaging or communicating better within relationships or understanding how to create boundaries, right? So again, you can get in touch with me and or the workshop series at letstalkwithdanabell.com. So, all right, Dr. Tucker, thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much for having me. I really appreciate that. This opportunity to be able to share some wisdom and understanding in such
Yeah,
performances. So thank you so much for allowing me to do so.
absolutely. I know it was like several good gems that somebody can grab a hold to and just start moving in that direction, moving with that little bit of knowledge, and they will definitely see a difference.
Yes,
Um,
absolutely.
all right. Well, you take care and see us next week on Tuesday. Thank you.
All right. See you.